Hello, it is Lord Awire. I am streaming some 2D4X. Last time I streamed, I got interrupted by my day job, even though it was my day off, and I had to jump off and do something for them. So hopefully we'll get a three. We won't. That won't happen again today. 3 hours is how much I usually stream. It's it's about as much as my brain can take from programming, and I can feel like the start of programming. There's like I start out like how do you use C sharp, and then it goes up and it peaks out and then it goes down within that 3 hour period. First hour useless, second hour okay, last hour useless. That's how it works. Anyways, I started this and ran it because I couldn't remember what I was doing, and I noticed immediately that this says that he's getting assigned to a Fisher Shack. What we're doing today is we're having the population assigning themselves to build these buildings that you. Is this thing still running? It is. When you say that these buildings need to be built, the population should assign themselves to it, and it's not really working. This Forester Shack says that 2 people can work on it at a time, and then this Fisher Shack says 5 people can work on it at a time, and so it's doing this thing where it's going through. God damn it! I keep forgetting. I gotta click these buttons now over here. I've clicked them 4 times now each. So it's got to go. It should have 5 people. Scavenging is considered idle, and so what the scavengers will do is they're gonna bring in random shit all the time. Anyways, random shit until they run out of random shit to scavenge. When there'll be some like base thing, every county will have 10,000 scrap and 10,000 food or some shit that they can bring in. I'm also gonna have them bring in money. And at the beginning, the economy is not going to be money based. It's going to be influence based, where you're influence people work for free, because it's like you're a community of survivors. So everyone's just pitching in, helping out. But it's going to slowly change through research. But that's a whole thing that's way down the road. Right now, we're just trying to get these people to work, and they're getting assigned, and then they're getting assigned again, which is wrong. And I was looking at this and I was like, oh, it's right here. So it's not their current activity that we're checking. We need to be checking their next activity. And I'm pretty sure this is the issue, because we're assigning this next activity and we're supposed to be going like, hey, when you start building a job, every morning they check and it says, hey, what are they doing tomorrow? And I have this set to current activity. So it's checking, what are they doing today? And this should, I'm pretty sure, be next activity. And then they are working on next activity. I feel like I did this before last time when I was, so this originally I had this part done in Unity. We're almost to the point where I was at in Unity. And then I can change my description at the top there, and I can just say Godot. I have complained about Godot a lot, but I've decided that that's pointless, and I'm going to stick with it regardless. So instead of complaints, we'll try to make it, I just got more to learn. I guess I'm in a good mood or something. Fuck that, right? Anyways, next activity, if they're not idle, which is scavenging, it's going to say they're already assigned to something. And then it will continue, which I believe, the chat was helping. I still don't understand return, continue, and break. Yeah, I mean, I understand the concept, but I need to have it like locked into my brain. That's how everything works for me. I need to do this thing 40 times and do it wrong 40 times, and then suddenly, bam, it clicks in. Man, that's just like this old guy at my work. That sucks. Anyways, so then it's going to go through, and if they're not idle, it's going to assign them the job if the job is less than the max workers. And so each person should get assigned for their next activity, and then in the morning, it kicks over and it moves their next activity to their current activity, and then when the workday starts, they should start working. Hopefully that's like the cure for all of our problems, and we'll just carry on. Everything will work. It's kind of a optimistic thing here. All right, we only can build buildings in Portland. So let's start with just one building. Fisher Shack, it should have 5 people. Fuck that. Let's do 2 buildings. That's the way we got to test this. And then what time is it? 6 a.m. We've already missed the day check. So it's going to, the start work check. So now it's going to see, and I paused it there. Oh, no, it didn't do it. Did I save it? Stephanie Martin is building. Let's look here. If the next activity is not idle, it says this. So they are idle. And they should be building. So it goes through this person. And then it goes down to the first. So we're on the first person. And it should check if the current workers is less than max workers and is being built is true. Maybe this continue is wrong. What happens if I just get rid of this? Like I said, it's still not locked into my brain. Let's look at this though. Yeah, so it's doing the same thing. I did save it. I thought the continue was working last time, but fuck my memory, right? We gotta build something. We're gonna build two things for this really to be a test. Uh-oh. I cannot. I can unpause things while that's open. It's not supposed to. We're not supposed to be able to do that. I thought we fixed that. I'm pulling up my list. My list of issues. I have this. This is open source. Not that anybody wants the code. I don't feel like right now. But let's see here. That doesn't work. I was unpausing. Oh no! When we click on this, it should close that other thing too. We can't unpause it here. Oh, this is all busted. Damn, we got some problems there. All right, so back to this. We're gonna add this to just at the top here. When population list is open and you click buildings, it should close the population list and it should work. It's currently not working. We're going to put this up here because that's not where we're testing. We don't want to get sidetracked just yet. We're going to try to figure out this one issue first. Okay. Did we even, no, we just built stuff and we might have busted things, but we just, oh. Now we can't unpause it. Something is completely busted with that. Can we do these buttons work? There we go, the buttons work. We'll have to fix that. Okay, what are you doing here? No, it's still doing the same thing. Oh, I know what the problem is. Okay, so for each person, it checks this, then it goes through all the, it's saying else, and then it goes through all the buildings. That's not what we want. What we want it to do is, yeah, that's the problem. I mean, this was a problem too, but, so it's gonna go to the first person, so let's see here, it needs to go to the person. It needs to go to the count, every person in every county. So it's going to go to the person, and it's going to say, what's your next activity? And it says, it's not idle. So then it needs to check. No, let's do it this. So this is the problem here. We need this up here. And so it's going to go check the first. We actually could just put this in here. It's going to get kind of convoluted. Then we can get rid of Well, we can put this else in here, I suppose. And put this continue doesn't fucking matter at this point. Except, I think this is one of those cases where we want to make it the else first. Because it's going to be checking all of this crap all the time. So we need to make this else first. And we could have like an embedded or two if statements, but I think this is better. So how could we? It doesn't even matter. Which it's I don't think it matters. I was thinking we could go put the else first and do a return, but it's the problem with this is it's going to check every building regardless. And it'd be nice if like, hey, if it's idle, just skip that shit. Don't check the building. Or if it's not idle, if it's already working, just skip the whole thing. And I think that's kind of what we had before. But then if it gets past that, so we're going to each county. Could we do it another way? Each county, then we go to the building. And if the building has less than workers, then we go to the people. It doesn't matter. So we go to the person. Are you idle? I think we should go to the building first, actually, because what happens if there's no buildings that need to be built? Then we would still be going to every person at this point. And there's more people than there are buildings currently. There's currently more people than there are buildings. So we go through every county, we check every building, and we look for is being built. And if it's being built, then we look for the people to fill it. We look to see if anybody wants to work there, which right now everybody wants to work everywhere. But we're going to change that eventually. I think will that be better? So let's see. Let's say we had 100 people. If we have 100 people and we go and we have 100 buildings, let's say we have 100 people and 100 buildings, and we check every building, is it being built? And we hit on the third one, we hit yes. Then we would check through all 100 people. That seems like that's very inefficient. And then if we go through every person, then we also have to check the building. I think I'm going to change this to we check the buildings first. This is a major change here, but that's fine. Let's go. It might not be we'll put a note on here too. We're going to rewrite this whole fucking thing. Go through every county. Go through every building in that county and see if it is being built. So then in this one, we can copy this and just because there's two checks actually in here, not this one anymore. Okay, so it's going to go through and it's going to check the improvement. And if the current number of workers is less than the max workers, that means it's going to need. No, if it's just less, it's going to need someone, and it is being built. This should actually be first, though. This should be up here. I say this all the time that, like, sometimes I kind of like bugs because you go through your code and you're like, wait, is there a better way to do this? Why am I doing it this way? You know, not all bugs, obviously, but the occasional bug. All right, so it goes through and it's like, is this being built? It's going to check the list for the county improvements in the county. It's going to, is this being built? Yes. And are there less workers than max workers? And it's yes. And if that's true, it needs to go through all of the county population. And we have a lot of shit going on here that's I got a clusterfuck here. So it needs to go through the whole population list for each person in the county data. I was just thinking about something with the heroes. I'm going to put a note about this. I don't know if we'll do it this. Have the non-spawned heroes working with the population. Originally, that was the idea. Like you would leave a hero not spawn, so they would be working with the population. Heroes are like leaders and stuff. I'm just calling them heroes because I don't have a better name. So like your leader of your faction could be working away in solidarity at the mines or whatever, and that would give a bonus. And I think we should do that, but it's going to make an additional check. Go through the county's population, because we have two lists. One's the county population and one's the hero population. Go through the county population. For each county population person in county that's right. If the person, oh, this is going to solve that other problem. If their next activity is equal to all text jobs scavenge idle, then we're going to assign them their next activity is going to be building. Their next improvement is going to be the county improvement data from above. The county improvement data is going to add to their work here. Yeah, so this is all going to go up here. And then this can go here. And then let's fix all this shit that from the last. We don't need this. There we go. Now I'm wondering if there's a way. We could put in here just temporarily. I mean, I guess not temporarily, but we can put in county improvement $sign squigs county improvement data improvement name squigs is not being built. So let me think this through. So if it's going to hit this building and it's like, is this person idle? Then do this. And hopefully I saved it. I keep rolling slowly back. I've mentioned this before in my chair, and I just started. I noticed it. So we want the Fisher's Shack, and we want this Forester's Shack to go, because we need to test it with 2. And then we wait, and we just wait down here for the day to end. And now it should have gone through here. Who are these people? Um, what's going on there? It assigned everybody to the Fisher shed. So this is the hero I was talking about earlier. So they're not supposed to be assigned. Uh, oh, I see. Okay, so this is what's happening. If it's being built, then we want it to do this thing, but we need this to stop it down here. Except no, not in the for each. We need it over here. If the county improvement is being built, go through, and if the person's idle and the current workers is less than max workers. So let's think about that. Yes, so that's right. Because what's going to happen is if it says there's 4, the max workers is 5 and it says it's 4, it will assign this person and that will make it 5. So that should be, I think. Did I save that shit? This is like some basic. It's too fucking hot. I'm usually whining about how cold it is, but I have a heater vent that's below my desk here, and sometimes it's out of control. And if I turn it off, then it's fucking too cold. I have it set for 72 degrees in my house because nothing works. All right, I think that worked, but I'm what? What order did I build those things in? I wonder if they put them in a different order. But that worked. But let's look at this debug log because I'm a little thrown off by it here. Debug log, GD print. Shirley, it goes through and it assigns everybody, which is right, and then it goes through everybody else in the list. Oh wait, couldn't we say here? Can we say here like break or something? Like we're done with this shit for this if state. Wait. Yeah, so couldn't we break it or something here? I think we can. Because if we go through, we don't need to continue down the list. This shit's done. And this will work up until, yeah, for this building this is done. So I got to look up once again. I look up C# return break whatever. Break, it will probably be the top, these things. Jump statements. Someone was talking about a jump chart or something last time, and I did not look into it afterwards. The continue statement starts a new iteration of the closest and close iteration. So can I put continue right here? So the first time it hits this, bam, we're out, and it will get out of this for each thing, and then it will go to here. Well, let's see what happens. We'll figure this out. I'll figure it out. I gotta get to the right thing though. I'll figure out these breaks, continues, and stuff. I gotta pause it. Okay. I think this is just breaking him out of this if statement. I don't like that thing. And it did not fix it. I don't like this over here. I'm always so anal about everything. I should probably check to make sure that my like chat shit is working. It's always something bizarre. Um, with this new setup, I'm gonna click some things over here. And I don't want that up. I want this up. See, I think that all right, what does return do? But this is gonna bust it out of just this if statement. Well, let's just do it. And then the last thing we'll do is break. One of these does what I'm pretty sure one of it. I just want to keep the iterations as low as, because we're going to have a lot of population and stuff eventually. And I don't want to do this crazy shit all the fucking time. I need to pause this before the day ends here. Yeah, we'll just grind stuff. I was thinking about buying Stellaris. I own the basics of it. Um, I own the base game of Stellaris, and there's $200 for all the DLC, and I was like, I can't do that. But I was looking at like if people thought it was worth the $200, and people were saying late game everything grinds to a halt, and that's like my biggest fear here. That didn't work. It kind of worked, but not. We should have had a Fisher's Shack. It's interesting that the Fisher's Shack is not. There, we should have the Forester's Shack in there as well. All right, let's try break. This will make sense eventually, or it just won't work, and we'll just leave that crap in there. And we'll figure it out later. I think it's doing it in order of the list, which is not what we want. Well, that's wrong. Jennifer Anderson. Uh, all right, so I guess we can't do that. None of the things work how I want them to work. So we got to have it go through every person and check this. Maybe, if you know how a better way to do this, tell me. I'm open to constructive criticism. Hey, dick face isn't very constructive. Or you're a dick face. That's not very constructive. Um, Here we go. Let's see if this thing works. I mean, this worked. I was just hoping to make it not have to go through the whole population. There's probably a better way to write it, is what I'm thinking. Oh, I didn't let enough time pass. Oh, I know why this says this. Okay. Uh, they're working on the building, and then it goes to the next building, and it checks, and it's like, hey, these people are working. So that works, but once again, it's going through a lot of people. And let's stop this. Let's change this GD prints. They are working on next activity is not assigned. I'm just gonna get rid of this. And I'm gonna put a note in here. Well, let's try it. I think there's another bug. We want it to go in order. We might have to create another list, I guess. I don't want to create another list, but we might have to. Forester Shack should go first now, and then we want Fisher Shack to go. I don't think we have the list set up that way. I think it's just, we might just have to create another list. That would make the fucking thing a lot shorter. Did that work? Recording? Maybe I created another list. um, I think that worked. That did the Fisher Shack. Wow, how did that work? Maybe I'm creating another list and I don't even remember it. That's quite possible. All right, Fisher Shack first this time, and then Forester Shack. Obviously, I don't know what the fuck's going on. That person's name was Haywire. I saw it. I don't know, it's working. It's working in the correct order, too. So, whatever. I don't know what I did here. Martha Cook. My last name's Cook. All right, so that's what we wanted to happen. Now we got to figure out this bug that I just noticed. Where the fuck is it? It was. We should probably convert this. We'll leave that there. We're not going to. All right, if the population list is open, well, can we open the population list? We can't. Oh, look, that has that stupid fucking... You can see it getting triggered. What a piece of shit. It's my Godot pet peeve. We can fix this. Is that this is under county info buildings button. The focus is insane. None. No focus ever. All right. It's you just turn it off, but the first time I encountered it, it sure was a pain in the ass to figure out that was the issue. All right, buildings button. Nothing works. That's how we want it. So then what happened earlier? I was able to click a Oh, I was in here? I went the other direction. I went population. That's what it was. Okay, so we either can have it so you can't click on that, which is probably what we should do. So when you're in the population button, or when you're in population, you shouldn't be able to click on this buildings button. How the fuck did we disable? Oh, I just probably made this. No, it's still a button. Usually I just have a blocker panel open. I wonder why I didn't do that before. There was probably some reason. Let's look at population list. We'll have to have 2 of them. I wonder how we're doing this. The other thing we can do is just disable the buttons when they open. You know, one opens up, and if one's open, then it disables the buttons. Or let's go back to here. If you click buildings, it should just close the other one, I suppose. Like, why the hell not? But the buildings button blocks this because I got to control probably. Honestly, I think you should just be able to click between these two. There's no reason not to have that happen. I don't like how those close buttons are different. So let's look at this. Let's fix that first. This is called county improvements. mouse pass. Is that what the problem was? Pass. Okay, where is this thing? That shouldn't matter. That shouldn't matter. This is set on pass. The control receive mouse movement input advance and mouse button in if clicked on through, and the control receive. If the control does not handle the event, the parent control will be considered, and so on until there's no more parent controls to handle the. Ignore the controller not receive the mouse input events. What are we doing with these other one? I thought it was pass, but what are we doing like with this one? Or this one would be a better example because I'm pretty sure this covers the whole thing. It does. Oh, it's ignore. Well, that's the fucking problem then. The problem's me. Let's try this again. I have this script that I was starting to work on called, oh, I took it off here, called the hider. It hides everything so that that doesn't happen if I forget. But I couldn't, it wouldn't let me drag shit over. It wouldn't let me add things to like the array that was over here, so I gave up. Buildings. All right, so then what we'll do, let's see, I just want to make sure the description panel acts the same way. All right, so the description panel will act the same way. They all need the same thing. So let's see here. This shouldn't be that terrible. And every time I say that, it turns out it's a huge clusterfuck. So on visibility to change true, this stuff should turn off. I think I unpaused it somehow at some point. Then we... No, it's not here. We want it to also turn off these other things, which they are called. I'm looking at across the top, but I don't see it. So, county info control instance. Can I just hide this? Like just straight up? Oh, that's the wrong one though. It's population description. Can I just say hide? Let's do the other one. For a while, I was calling them UI elements. I might go that, oh, there's no instance of this. You know where these things are? Is under county info control instance dot population description margin container. Why do I have these in here? That's weird. Let me check something here. Well, I guess we'll put these both in here. County, just to wonder why I did the margin container. Why the margin container? Not the oh, because these are margin containers. I put these for some reason they don't have controls. It's weird. I don't know why I did that. um, that's not going to test what we want to test. Okay, so then let's do this again. Yeah, I can unpause this though. Something else must be turning it on. Oh, I remember. I remember the problem. This is happening too slowly, I think. We need to do like a call deferred, which I hate. Let's check. Let's do these other things, and then we'll do the call deferred. Yeah, there's my hider that doesn't work. I'm not gonna look at it right now. It's not that important. Man, I like to have a lot of shit open. We might need the banker there in a second. County improvement control, county improvement data. We don't need this second. Film ball, how's it going? How's life in the fast lane? I've been saying that a lot lately. I don't I don't I don't know why I've suddenly started saying that. Um, we need to open this script over here. I guess I don't have it open. Of the million scripts that I have open, I see you keep saying that, uh, but I don't know why you keep saying that. I don't have any skills for the people. That we don't have any skills yet. There's there's no skills in the game yet. I'm gonna put skills in, but just not right now. Um, let's see. This one, then, we're gonna need. We need it right here. This one doesn't have that issue. We don't have call deferred here, so maybe it's something else is going on. Disable spawn hero. This is turning off the description, and we also need it to turn off which I don't actually think is in our county thing. We need it to county, and oh, I guess it is. We need to turn off that. I need to make this. I need to put this in like a utility or something. And then what we'll do is just call that utility, and then we don't have to add this to 3 different places. Oh, they got to be different though, which fucking sucks. They can pass in themselves, and they can skip themselves. You know where we can put this? Is under county info control. I still haven't stuck a script on here, which surprises me. We could put it here, and then we just have like a utility that closes and opens these things. And like I said, it passes in itself, and then it would say if it's equal to itself, then don't hide that. Otherwise, hide these other ones. We can put an array in there. We can just drag them in. Well, if Godot will let me drag them in there, because then we can go through. Man, that seems like a lot of work for that. Let's put a note in and we'll do it later. That'll be a do it later thing. Let's put this under. Um, doesn't look like I have. It doesn't look like I have a thing for the player UI, so let's add one. We're gonna have a lot of these here eventually. Just like a generic player UI. When a control is shown, have a method that closes all the other controls slash margin containers, because some of them are margin containers for some reason. Instead of each control slash margin container doing it, period. Um, there we go, and we'll put this over here. And this will go up here. And we had one more of these to do. We had population list UI element, and then we had the control or the county improvement, and then we need to do the county. See, this is what I'm talking about. We have like it's almost duplicate code, but it's not duplicate code. This one. See, this one has a call deferred in it. That's just the description info, though. That must have been happening too fast. Look at this. It doesn't have a thing that turns off the... It doesn't have a thing that turns this off. I wonder why. I'm gonna put it in there and then we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh, or is it down here? What is this too? Why did I put this note in here? Okay, so this one must be having that issue where it was happening too fast. This was probably happening too fast, which is why it is here. Okay. And then we'll put these up here. If this goes true, then we do county info control instance, county improvement, hide. Good God. Typing the thing in there, I could just hit tab. Instance, what is the other one called? Population. That's not already here? Let's see. Let's see. uh, idle worker still doesn't do anything, which is great. I accidentally clicked on Cynthia Jones, but that's a good thing to test anyways. All right, that seems to work. What was the other thing that happened? Like I had clicked this, and then I clicked this, and then I went like this, and then I like clicked back or something, and then there it is. Um, this should say under construction, but it got turned off somewhere. So let's turn this off, and then let's go back to my thing here. And we'll close this and we'll open a new one, which is sometimes the under construction button or label goes away on the population. On the population. It's not a population, it's under the building. No, it's not called building. We're not using that. We're the county improvement panel, whatever the fuck I called it. And we'll put this up over here. And then back over here. And then let's look at this thing. This should be right here. And we have a little script on here. I think it's a little script. It's more of a script than I thought. If check building cost, build button, update under construction. What is this thing doing? You know what we could do with this? So this is, I think these are getting instantiated. Let's look, but I'm pretty sure these are getting instantiated every time. You click the build button. So it pops up. Where's my build confirmation? Not that button. It's under county info. You click the buildings button. You click the county improvement. Improvements, but no. Let's turn this on so I can see with that. Wow, that's big now. Okay, that's fine. You click the county improvements button, and it has a signal that goes to buildings button that's attached to this script. So that is, I just had the fucking thing open. We're gonna need the banker here. I guess do we need all this other stuff open right now? I've been pinning things over here that I know, not if I know I'm working on them, right then. I don't, the clock we actually may need. So this is happening here, which I do have this open. So what I was thinking about, is this instantiating? It is instantiating. So on ready, we could set this. Does it get destroyed? It does get destroyed. So I wonder why this is not detecting. If the count is being built is false and this is false, now that's right. How the fuck is it detecting this stuff? Uh, this wasn't that long ago. uh, update possible building labels. Update under construction label. Where is this shit getting called? Okay, I see the issue. So it only gets updated that one time. So it gets updated the one time and then it gets moved over there. Then it's never checked. It's reparented to the other thing and the other side. So there's the possible and there's the current. So it's in the possible one. You click yes, it goes over and it updates this building thing, which we actually don't. We can get rid of this whole thing and we can put it in here. What we can do is when on ready, because they're instantiated every single time, we can just have an if statement. What is this shit? It does this if either one of these. This is wrong. Well, that's right, but we also want it to be. We want it to be. It's just going to check one of these, and that's is being built. I guess we'll do just another if statement. I was trying to think of a way to cram those two into. So what are we changing? This doesn't need to be here. This doesn't need to be here. That needs to be here. Then this needs this different text. At what point are we turning on the under construction thing? Oh, we must be turning it off somewhere. I see what we're doing. We're doing this dumb. I am doing this dumb. Yeah. Uh, this should be, whoa, uh, under construction label show. So this, let's rearrange how this shit is. This is dumb looking too. So this needs to go to here. We can just have all these things in a row. Are they all different? They are all different. This is going to happen regardless. These ones need to. This needs to happen. This all needs to happen. We're changing this text, so I guess we could put, instead of doing it twice, because we would change it here and then we would change it down here, we could put this. And then we're going to change something else here too. This is going to happen probably more frequently, so we're going to go. I need to get this off my. And you know what we're going to do here is make this consistent. So I have like 2 string here, and then I am using the $sign string thing. Let's just make this consistent so that it's not. And then I can't see what that says, so we're just gonna go with it. What'd you give us over here, little buddy? I'm calling it. So that's the other thing. Calling everything little buddy lately too. And then let's change this as well to this. I see all sorts of problems here. Come on. I'm missing something. I know it's like right in front of my face. I just can't see it. Yeah, I got like a thing somewhere missing. Aha, I see it now. It took a minute for my. I always talk about this too. Think about back in the day when it wouldn't warn you, and you just would have to run it. And compiling fucking took forever. You know, it took an hour, and you would come back and you'd have some broken exe file that you'd run, and it's what? And then you go, what happened? You have to go line by line looking for that shit. All right, let's go through this shit again. The name is going to then be the name. The description is going to be the description. This is still called boss buildings. The influence cost is going to be the influence cost, which we hide down here, which is fine. We show the under construction over here. So this says if you have the money, it disables it, or if you don't have the money, it disables the ability to build it. If either one of these are true, you can't build it because it's already being built or it's under construction. Is being built is not true. It's going to put this stuff here, the max workers, amount of workers. If it is true, It's going to hide the influence cost. It's going to show the under construction. Uh, this is going to change to this other text, which is going to show how many workers. And then we have the build button. Let's run it. I have a feeling that like since I changed around so much shit, something broke. But we just got to check it. What the fuck is that? Okay, that did not work. Probably. We already have this call deferred. Oh, you know why? Because in this particular case, we're just reparenting it. We're not actually. I wonder, what we should do from over here when we hit yes. Where the fuck was that? Building confirmation dialog. We should say. We should say. We should say. We should just run this thing. This is private, but. Then we're going to run this again. I'm going to take a break here in a second. Does that under construction look brighter? Oh, I should have tested the other thing. Can I still unpause? I can, you son of a bitch. All right, so that's the one thing we're going to do when I get back from my break. This is fixed. We're going to close this issue, and I'm going to put this. I feel like this is. It is not here. Turn. I think we just need to call deferred in that one thing, which I don't know, whatever. Turn off player controls when the county improvements panel thing is open. Getting quite a mix of music that you guys can't hear. My phone just suddenly lit up for no apparent reason. I think actually it lit up with because I got a notification from Instacart or something. But the other day I was working my day job and I glanced over at my phone and it was on a phone call. And I don't know, something I must have said because I talk to myself while I work, on the day job, like I'm streaming almost. That's what I do. Something I must have said must have somehow triggered the voice thing. It's like Bixby or some shit, and called someone, and it was just this random person I hadn't talked to in years. So then I had to text the person and be like sorry, and then we had to have a conversation. It was great. Um, all right, I'm gonna take a quick break, and I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Where's my break timer? Here it is. I moved some things around in here. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I am back already. That notifications drive me crazy down there. But I don't remember if I moved this to my other screen or not, so there's that. Uh, who knows what we were talking about in that chat on Signal. All right, turn off the player control. I spelled improvement wrong. So I think what's happening is, where is that thing? This is happening too fast. I wish I could just put like call deferred and then this one thing, but I guess we'll put a little dumb method down here. Or what we could do is go to not there. Here. Void. Now I don't want this. Yeah. This is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. This is gonna break a bunch of shit, but that's okay. Uh, a public bool. And I think we want that to be true. We're gonna need an instance. Uh, public static instance. Public static player controls. Nope. And that. And that. And this. We're going to do this different. This is going to be a bool. I was thinking we can do a getter setter in this, but the problem is, and we can just change this thing. We need this for all the call deferreds. That's why we're doing this. Uh, oh wait, no, we're not returning anything. This is still void. And then what do we got going here? I put an extra thing. We'll go back to this globals thing and we'll get rid of this. And then if we have to call deferred shit again, this is gonna bust a bunch of crap, but we'll go. This one doesn't need the call deferred. What the fuck? What is this? Oh no, this is the one that we have the problem with. Can I do a haul? Is this gonna work? I don't think this is gonna work. I wish I could test this without having to fix all these other things. Just making sure it's putting the right true and false in there. Look at all this shit. Yeah, I don't know if call deferred works that way, where you can put in a thing to another script, but we'll find out in about 5 seconds here. Yeah, we have other things. I don't need to see Discord. Looking at this strange game that was online, or that I was thinking about streaming. It was very suspicious. True. False. There's like a 4X game that I saw, and I was like, this could be really cool. And then I was like looking at it, and it's like has an empty, like there's no one in their Discord, and the few people that ask questions seem like sock puppets. Uh, and it's just the whole thing is very strange. I forgot the ready thing, like always. And I almost streamed it last night. I was like, because I didn't really actually, I didn't want to stream last night, but then I was like, maybe I will. This just weird, strange game. Uh, but I couldn't. I think I'm missing, so I need a void in here. But that will do the trick. But I couldn't tell if it was a scam or not. It seems very scammy because, like, when people ask questions, like I said, the developers are very coy. They're like, "Is this going to be in the game?" I can't tell you because that would be a spoiler. It's like, what? The fuck are you talking about? All right, that worked. Yeah, I don't think you can do that thing. The whole reason I went through all of that. Method not found. Open, go to it, motherfucker. Maybe there's a typo in there. What did I call it? Adjust player controls. Where was that? That was under, how the fuck do we get controls there? Population, what the fuck was I looking at? Yeah, I don't think it can figure out what this is, which like literally just change, like everything I just did is pointless then. Uh, it doesn't help me. It seems weird to me though that, well, I guess some of them did need it. Some don't, some do. When we compile and run, it's probably going to be a disaster. because of that. Film. My English is very bad as well. Um, okay, so that worked. Now I just hit the button 1,000. I just hit space. Oh, you know what? I just hit space there. Do we want that to be that way? Oh, I couldn't figure out a way to turn it off. Um, well, I don't know why that this doesn't need call deferred anymore. Um, I talk like a Valley Girl film uh, because I'm from Southern California, from San Diego originally. And you know, there's that. So I don't like SNL very much, but there is the skit about the Californians, and it's pretty on point. And all my cousins live in LA, and they're like, "Yeah, um, it is. It's how we talk." And they always talk about traffic and the best way to drive. Well, I went and visited my parents for Thanksgiving, and they they did the thing. Well, no, you got to take this road to get to, like, you got to take the 5 to the 15. Just shut up. It's like all they talk about is the ways to get places. It's insane. Uh, I'm originally from California. Oh, look at this. This thing was running in the background. Let's see what it did. Well, I didn't build anything. Oh, no, I did build a bunch of stuff. I was just randomly clicking things. Oh, we got a bunch of these. Let's just look. Whoops. Let's look over here. So that looks right. Yeah, I'm in Oregon now, and people don't quite. They don't, they have a West Coast. Ah, Turkey. We like the Mountain Blade people. They're in Turkey, right? That's Mountain Blade developers. Um, Oregon has its own accent, but it's not as or it's not as Valley Girl. And some people don't get the other thing they don't get is my exaggerations. In Southern California, you exaggerate everything, and you say the word like a lot. So it was like 1,000 people were there, and people in Oregon will be like, there were 1,000 people there, and I was like, no, it's like there was 1,000 people there, and they'll be like, oh, so there was like 900? No, there was like 2 people there, but that's how. Um, all right, that's fixed somehow. I think it's gonna unfix itself when we compile it. At some point, I'm just gonna have to do like a test compile and then cry. Uh, we should put that on this list. The order of execution is working. At some point, we gotta do this. I'm not gonna do it today. That's not on my list of pain. I gotta keep my pain going here. All right. Uh, every morning at 0, 3D maze game. That sounds interesting. I saw this. I gotta show this. This is so insane. What was it called? Uh, it was hidden objects. What was it called? You know how I found it? I was looking for 4X games. it was under, and then I did, I went to a category under here. I went to, what did I do? I went to new and trending, and then I scrolled down a bunch. Hidden Western top. This game is $412. This game's at $1,500. And they have it marked down. And it's so it's like this has to be a scam, right? Find the objects that are hidden on the map. You got to find the boat. You know, it's like, where's Waldo? But when it's not on sale. So I'm guessing that this is like a thing where they set it really high and then always have it discounted. So you feel like you're getting a deal. It's 97% off. What a bizarre tactic. And maybe it works. I don't know. You know, they don't have very many reviews. It's so bizarre. All right. When it hits 0, each county population decides if they want to work on a building, any buildings that are under construction. We just did that. That's done. If the building is built, we just fixed that. Did we? We don't know. We've never finished a building. We need to, on here, it needs to, workers need to apply the work they do to a county improvement. And then if the building is going to be done, if the county improvement is going to be done, then their next activity should be idle. I think we're going to put this one in the next round. And this one needs to be Blender. You know, I mess with Blender a tiny bit. How do you like it? I hear it's really good. For my skill level, it was impossible. My skill level being 0. I forget why. I needed to do one thing in it, and I was like, maybe this will be easy. And then after I opened it up and messed with it, I was like, nope. So this does need to be done, but that's towards the end because we need to build the building. We're currently not building the building. We're just assigning people to it. Workers need to apply the work that they do to the county improvement. And it looks like we started this, started this last time, and then I got called off to work. Okay, so at the end of the workday at 5 p.m., workday over, it's going to run this thing, complete work per person. This is some old code from Unity. If you want film, if you have a working thing, you can post a link to it or something. I like to support other developers as much as I can. Look at this thing. What's that guy doing there? It's just chilling. All right, so at 5 p.m., it's going to go through every county and then every person And then it's going to check their county improvements. And then it's going to say Bill or whatever is building this thing. It's going to currently just apply just one to their work. This is eventually going to be a skill check, which is, we could probably do that thing like you were saying. Checks to see if the building is complete. So this should have already been happening at 5 o'clock, actually. I don't know what I just hit. If the work complete is greater than equal to the max amount of work, building is built as true, and it is being built as false. Then person next activity should equal idle. This is having every population working on the building set that building is built. So it is repeating the setting to true a bunch of times. This is inefficient code. I wrote this when I was working on this in Unity. Some of the population will be working on a different building, on different buildings too. And this might be like one of the return break things. So if the person completes it, we should just be able to bust out of this with break or whatever. Like we're done with that. That's not true though. I don't know. So let's see here. I don't think we can see inside a list. So probably what we want to do is have a, let's just do one first. Amount of work 200. That's going to be a long time to wait to see if it ever gets done. We'll change that in a second. Let's just see if we can. We just need one 5 p.m. I think it's probably already passed. 5 p.m. to pass here. 5 p.m. is passed. Work, check work complete. When this is done, let's do it this way. The other way we can do is we can go through each building, but we don't know who's working. Like the buildings don't know who's working inside of them. The people know, but the buildings don't. So we might want to change that at some point. But when this is all done, we could just put a little GD prints in here. Can we put this? This is going to be a county improvement data in I have this on that other one. All right, man. Have a good evening, morning, afternoon. County data is a resource. And I've already forgotten. We don't have it open? No, it's right here. Oh, we do have a list of under construction improvements. That's why that thing was working earlier. I don't know. I don't know, man. Uh, Hero County population. We are going through under construction improvements. This is back to the thing, like it might be worth it to assign the people who are working there to the item, to the building, to the county improvement. But what the fuck was I doing? We're doing work. And this is going to be county data dot under construction county improvements. We're going to go this shit. And then for each one of these, this is just for like do a GD print. We'll do it this way. Has completed work completed. Well, you know it's dumb. What's dumb is what I just did. Because this should automatically be updating. We already like did this. All right, 5 o'clock is done. No work has been accomplished. Why has no? Oh, maybe that day wasn't done yet because they don't get assigned till the next day. It still says no work. So let's figure out why that's wrong. What does this thing say? Fisher Shack has completed 10 work. Fisher Shack has completed 5 work. Fisher Shack has completed 0 work. Because this is before they've been assigned, any workers have been assigned. So that that actually is working how it should, except our little update thing here is not working. Current amount of work. Max amount of work. What are we updating over here? Work completed. What? We have 2 different variables in there? That's dumb as shit. Why haven't I pinned this county thing? Why haven't I pinned this thing? There she blows. There she blows. I don't know why we have two of these. There's probably some reason. Possibly incompetence. I'm waiting for the bugs to show up. You're not gonna show me though, so we'll just do build and then it will explode and then we'll be okay. There we go. I probably like renamed something and then was it just you? Few? I mean, it's nice that I had that GD print in there, I guess, just to see. Oh, look, I closed that thing and it just kept going. That's the way it should have worked. Has completed 10, so that's what we want here. 15 of 200. All right, 200 is too much because it's never going to get done. So let's go back to these are like all test numbers anyways. And I was actually thinking about a way to do it. A skill check, actually. Let's put 15 on this one. Let's put 10 on this one. And let's put 10 is fine. Then I don't know why. Go through everyone in this county again and clear out their job if their building is done. Why did we go through it again, and why didn't we just do it right here? Wonder what the problem is with doing it right here. So it goes through and it sets their next activity to idle. You'd probably want it to set their current activity to idle as well, though. This happens at 5 o'clock. Because then you would know, like if you're looking at the screen, you can be like, at the population, you're like, oh, I have all these people idle today. It's time to, start assigning work. It's after 5 p.m. It's just gonna blow out everything. Yeah, it should blow out both too, because currently it's set. Let's run this and let's look at it. It's set to, it will be checking for the next thing. So we would want both things to be changed. I go county improvements. We're gonna do, well, we'll just do 1 for this test. 10 and 0. All right, so they haven't started work yet. Now they should, at 9 a.m., they should start work on the thing. 5 p.m. has passed. They should have finished some work. And then at 0 o'clock came and went. So it's going to look to see if it should reassign anybody. No one needs to be reassigned. But let's check with like the populations. So it's saying right now, it's saying it's checking if the Fisher's Shack, they're going to be working on it today and tomorrow. Let's look at the county improvement. So that's actually not true. What is today? Today is the day they'll be working on it. It'll be done tomorrow. Which isn't the end of the world. Let's see what happens here. We just need to wait till 5 p.m. 5 p.m. is gone, come and gone. We're in the wrong county now. It's still thinking. because it's greater than or equal to the current amount of work. Is built is true, false is true. Is greater than or equal. Idle, idle. What time is it? It's past 5 o'clock. Oh, look, it kicked in the other screen correctly, but it's wrong because it doesn't. Um, county improvements when complete should show the amount of work. Show the amount of work. Instead, it should say completed. I know this is weird having an AI population, but so the thing's completed, but these guys are still showing as they're working on the Fisher Shack. Because, wait, I bet you one of them isn't. Yeah, it's only the last person. Only the last person. So that's what this was doing. Go through everyone in the county again and clear out their jobs as their building is done. So this is what, yeah, and we also need to do, we're going to null that out. And then, man, time's flying again. So this is the same thing. We basically, after this is done, we need to go reset all that stuff. So this isn't useful. We could actually get rid of all of this and put it up here. And this is from Unity is why this looks so strange. And then I don't know why this is, so I was, someone mentioned, I think it was Win, it doesn't matter who. Somebody in chat mentioned, like, why don't you just do 4 each all the time and instead of 4 things? And I was like, I don't know. And so I've switched over to 4 each. So this is going to be the same kind of thing here. It's weird to me that, oh, I'm retraining myself to do it this way. It's not weird to me. I think it's bad that I'm doing these checks all the time. These like duplicate checks. There's got to be another way. Like if this thing's done, like bam, you all turn off or something. In fact, if the county improvement kept a list of everyone who worked in it, we can make this is built a getter setter, and then the getter setter would just go through the list and turn everybody off. So I'm going to put that in the thing next. This is going to be under county improvement though for next round. Right now we're just getting it worked. We'll improve it because something else might come up. Where's my county improvement shit? Here it is. If the county improvement keeps track of who is working on it, when it is completed, it can just go through when it is Lord Mac, how's it going? When is built equals true, not that, nope, equals true. If the county improvement keeps track of who is working on when it built is true, is built could be a getter setter then when it is marked true, it could just go through the list and remove everyone's county improvement instead of the dumb shit way we are currently doing it. And then we'll convert this to this. This will go up here at the top of this, and I'm going to put this. Why is this a public static one? We're going to put this note in here, work.cs. All right. So we can do it because there might be a reason, like I want to keep going forward. So just in case there's a reason to have it separate, and then we'll just do it this way. Like I said, the dumb shit way for now. So we got to go through all the counties, and then we got to go through every person again. Yeah, this is a dumb shit way to do it. It's um, it's a lot of going through things. So if we're gonna fix this here. Person dot county. Wait, what the fuck are we doing? I think, didn't I just see that we're doing this different? Oh, it's just a list of the county improvement. All right. I was like, wait, work. Yeah, I think it's gonna be way better to have each county improvement keep track of who's working on it instead of have each person keep track of what they're working on. Because we're gonna have to be going through all of the people all of the time. I mean, we'll leave it this way for now, but I'm expecting a rewrite. Where was I? If person current county improvement dot is built equals true, then we just change all this shit. We change all this shit. And I'm actually going to put this in here. And we're going to put in this person's name. This is going to be the debug logs are going to be so fucking convoluted. Or GD prints name. No. Ragathin. How's it going? Yeah, so there's counties, county improvements, and then there's people. And definitely when you should also have a natural way of adding more UI indicators to tell the user that they're working on it. There's no way to look. Yes. No, I agree with you. That's it. Well, I don't know. Let me think about. Let me finish this line, and then let me think about what you mean. We're just gonna do first name and is um person. This isn't probably necessary. This is probably overkill here because it's gonna blow out our thing. Let's see here. I think I know what you're saying, and I don't think. Well, the person that's the indicator is part of the county data. The county data, or sorry, the county improvement data. Is assigned. The same county improvement is assigned to the person that they're working on. But yes, let's see here. So we have to build something. Let's actually build this thing, just because it's different. We got a debug log here. I think I hit no, and I haven't hit no. When did this appear? I keep calling them debug logs, but they're just logs. Okay, it started in something's over here is wrong. Check work completed. Um, it is because this can be null, and it's going, and it's like, but it should happen like a bazillion times. It's happening in the background because it's still running. For the county population person in and I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, but I think that's the issue with that thing. Whatever I'm like, oh, I'm gonna look at what you're saying in a second. What always happens is there's a bug and then I forget about it. I'm just waiting to see if we're getting that same thing. We're not. All right. Count Forest Shack. We can speed this up a little bit. Forest Shack. You guys happen to be the same age? A lucky roll. This is gonna take a while. Speed shit up here. 14. So we should have it next. Oh, that time it didn't unpause on its own. Weird. It should be done now. Yeah, so this is the thing I need to fix, but that's done. And so that worked. So to what you were saying, you also have a natural way of adding more to tell the user that what they're working on. So the population thing shows what they're working on. For a second, I was thinking, oh, we could have like an icon or something. Problem is, I'm gonna make them work on something here for a second. That time it worked, right? So this is right. And then the day rolls over. Willie Haywire. these, these names. Uh, I mean, we can have both things know what they're doing. We can have the people know what work the shit they're working on. So let's say we click on one of these people, not that person. This person. Oh, I guess I do have a construction skill in here. It's not a real skill, but I didn't. I was said earlier I didn't. Oh, this isn't saving what building they're in. So we're gonna want to add that in, or what building they're working on. Um, so most of this is gonna be, and originally I was gonna have this so that you assign you manually assign how many workers you want there. But I was playing some Shadow Empire and some Victorian stuff, and I was like, I actually think it's a benefit not to have the player assign that stuff. Let the workers pick their own jobs. Victoria 3 is trash, by the way. I played it some more this morning. I was just, I don't know how they fuck that up so much. And every time they do an update, I feel like it gets worse. Anyways, so they would pick their own work. And the reason you can look at the population is less to see what, well, it is, you want to be able to know what they're doing, but also because you're going to want to recruit them to be heroes at some point. Oh, look, this yes is on the right and the other one's on the left. Uh, you want to have more heroes. The goal is to have multiple heroes. Well, you need heroes to do stuff. Um, so, but I think I see what you're saying. Ragarthian. But I think you guys are right though that this should definitely not be by person because we'll be checking so many people because right now at the beginning you only have like 10, 20 people in each place, but it's gonna grow and it's just gonna be constantly checking people instead if they're idle, like let them just be idle, that's fine. We could actually we could have a list for like each thing, each job. Now that I think about it, I'm going to put another comment in here. Could even have a list for each job or building or county improvement. No, we'll let that percolate in my brain for a while. No, I was about to click close issue. So once it's done, though, we got to make sure that this thing works. We gotta do a couple of tests here, actually. Gotta wait till 5 o'clock here. Well, fast. Oh, what's up with this dude? I accidentally let that run. I meant, and that's why I came back to this was to pause it. And they're still set there. Oh, it's because you know why? It's because I spawned her, and she's out of that list now, which is a whole different ball game. But accidental person is working on a county improvement and you spawn them. It needs when you recruit and spawn them, it needs to remove their activities, etc. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. This is a good spot to do it, anyways. But what the fuck was I testing before that? I think I was just testing. It's actually not even when. It's just when you recruit them. It's not even when you spawn them. Actually, you should be able to. Let's and you recruit them. So actually, this is not that big of a deal because, and I was actually going to move on to the next thing, but I guess we got to do this now. We got to make the heroes work. Right now, it's just your normal population, but like your leaders and stuff need to work if they're in there. We still need to remove them out of there. This is done. That we got to fix. I guess I'll wait until the next round for that because I'm still not sure if I'm going to do it that way. The goal was to always originally have the heroes work with the population if you wanted them to. This works. We fix that. Um, okay, we need to do that too. So what that is just if their next activities shouldn't be they shouldn't try again the next day if the work's going to be done that day. You know what I mean? Like they should say that they're going to be idle the next day. I think I can get this done today. I think these two shouldn't be that horrific. Um, and then tomorrow or whatever, Saturday or Sunday or whatever day I decide to do this, we can have the factions decide what to build, which is like half written code already from Unity or 3/4 written code. And then I think I'm going to be done with everything that I had working in Unity. I'm pretty sure, and then I can just take that off my title and we can move forward. We can leave the past behind us. But I'm going to take a quick break and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes here. I got to turn off my music too, that you guys cannot hear. All right, I'll be right back. All right. Let's see here. Let's turn off this thing. Let's play that thing that you guys can't hear. And all right, let's fix that. That shouldn't be that horrific. That is this thing where we already did a bunch of stuff. So if being built or this is disabled, if being built is not equal, if there's a kind of a quite a few of these things, is built is equal to true. Then we need to turn off we need to turn off shit. This is a different, there needs to be two numbers here. This needs to be so, you know, I was thinking about that when I was typing this. I was like, man, maybe this is a Switch thing, but they're all checking different stuff. And I don't know if there's a way like this is different. This is a building costs. They're not checking the same things. And is there a way with switch statement with pattern matching? What the fuck is that? Switch pattern matching. What is that? C sharp, null check. You can do that with a pattern match as long as you don't need to hit several branches at the same time. You can also test a variable to find a match on a specific specific values. This following code shows one example where you test a value against all possible values declared in an enumeration. What the fuck is this? I might have to do a tutorial on this. I mean, it's not might. I have to do a tutorial. What the fuck is this? Why does it look like this? Oh, look at this one. This is pure gibberish. Wait, if temperature in Fahrenheit is less than 32, then what? If it's 32, do this. Oh. I did this in another game that I worked on and gave up on. In a much more convoluted way. It was huge. What are these little things? These are lambdas. See, this is why I stream this, because Chad always says like, "Why don't you use this?" And I say, "What's that? What's an array? What are you talking about?" That's a true thing. How do I use array? Like I knew what it was, but I said, "Why would an array help me?" And chat loves arrays. I'll tell you that much. They're 100% array lovers. Let's put this in here. This is gonna have to be a top item. learn C# switch pattern matching. And you know, I did do some basic C# classes. Microsoft has them online, you know, and I bet you, you know, because they're like a class where you know they teach you the thing, then you got to type in the shit. They don't really have tests, so I guess they're kind of tests. Um, Maybe that's what that other person was trying to explain to me. They were saying like use a switch, and I was like, how do I use a switch with this? And they just said, you know, just use a switch. And I was like, the fuck are you talking? You gotta give me more information. All right, I'm not gonna go, like do a tutorial while I'm streaming, so I'm gonna put this at the top though because that actually would solve. I have a bunch of these type of things, and if we could figure out, if I could figure out how that would apply to here, like besides in here, is what I mean. Um, but we're just gonna keep going forward here with this the shitty way. Uh, so if this is built, what was I doing? Oh, if it's built, oh, but then I just dawned on me we need something else here. These don't. This shouldn't. These need to be renamed to construction, and this needs to be named to construction. Construction. It's literally right above. So let me go back to this. After reading your thing, where the fuck was that? Work. No, where the fuck was I doing this? Did I? In switches, you can put like or, because these are two different. Is built and is being built are two different things. I thought with a switch you could check like is one thing only, like is being built. I sure did. There we go. This is gonna be constructors. I guess these are different than workers. So we actually, and then we need another thing that is workers, and then another thing that is, I guess well, no, I needed to rename all that shit. So let me add more to my note here. So let me ask you this, because this always comes up too. I was taught 30 years ago that switches are really slow. It's really, really slow and never to use them. And someone else was saying this last time, and maybe it was you. I don't think it was you, but that's no longer true. And like you should try to avoid switches at all cost. All right, so there's going to be, so once the thing's built, you also need to, you know, people will work there. So there's builders and there's, or as I'm calling them, constructors. The reason I want to call them builders is because it might not be a building. If you're building a pond, though, you're still a builder, I suppose. If you're building a statue, if you're building a... We'll say builders. Constructor sounds like some programming term. So maybe that's why I'm like, because like, yeah, I was told to avoid switches. There's two things. Don't ever put anything like an update, if you can, and don't use switches unless you absolutely have to. You know, I use switches in a couple of places, but they're um, uh, not time sensitive. Yeah, yeah. Well, it is. It is post-apocalyptic, but constructors sounds something. So we got the workers, we got builders. I was just trying to think, what kind of improvement, like county improvement, like if you're building a road, you're still building it, like you're a builder. That's kind of like, all right. I was talking earlier about, you know, I had a missing squiggly, one of these guys, squiggles as I call them, and back in the good old days, it wouldn't warn you that that was a problem. And so you'd compile and it'd take an hour. And then you'd be like, and it would just, you know, you'd get this exe file and you'd run it and it'd just croak out. And then you'd be like, well, let me go line through line on all of my code looking for the missing thing. It was great. Yeah. I just like call them squiggles, squigs. Okay. So back to this thing. We're going to, this is going to kind of not work for a second when we run this. This is under this thing. And I didn't do this right, because now I got to go through and fix these. Oh, sorry, yeah, curly brackets, curly braces, brackets. I don't like it. I don't like the parentheses are these things. I think. Okay, let's build this because I bet you that I didn't do the find replace all. Yeah, I don't know. We're somewhere. There's something. Yeah, here it is. Construction. All right. Square brackets, parentheses. All right, next on the list. What was I doing? I had to do that because when this thing changes, it needs to change to something else here. Current amount of construction. And I'm totally not using my all text thing. Which is dumb. This is gonna be a disaster later when I have to go and set up for localization, which I still haven't done the other thing, the tutorials or anything about localization, which I should do sooner than later. So if this is built, we're going to say we're going to have, I think we're going to turn this one, look at that, labels the wrong motherfucker. And then we're going to have another problem here. Construction. You know, I had C sharp installed from Unity, and I forget how to even look what version I have. But they had moved. It was funny because someone mentioned that like the Unity version was older. Uh, what I was looking for was there's also like the plugin thing is what I was looking for, but I can't remember where that is. Extensions. This is just gonna show me. I think this is what I was thinking of, but this is not. You know, it's funny too, is not everyone, but many people were saying that they're having issues with Nougat. And when they install Godot, and you don't really install Godot, you know, you just run it. And I didn't have those. It's on 6. I swear I was reading something about that, though. That they were something about it. I cannot remember. It was like a argument or something. Yeah, so however I installed it for Unity, uh, I'm on 4.2. That should be the newest version. Well, okay, that's not true. There is 4.21. I'm reluctant to upgrade. What is the Let's see, let's take a look at it. I'm less impressed. I'm less impressed with their updates. So I'm trying to stay on like the stable one. How long ago is this? 2 days ago? They do have a lot of I wonder if they fixed that thing. I've commented on one issue. I don't even know how I would look for it on here though. They're gonna use the word nodes 100 times. Okay, maybe not 100 times, just 2 times. I don't know how they're testing stuff, like how they're when they release an update, like how long does it stay in testing before they release it? Uh, I think it should be longer. But yes, I have that on my list here too, actually. Let's move this to the top. No, I don't have it on my list. Underneath this thing. We'll do that, and that will remind me hopefully to upgrade. Uh, but like I said, I'm less than impressed with their upgrade. So I like to be on the cutting edge of everything, but their betas were pretty unreliable. Which it's a beta, so I decided not to do the beta thing anymore. Uh, but then, oh yeah, I don't know, automated test suites or not. Uh, we need to fix this thing. Improve. Oh, that's what I was going back to here for. Is I need to build this, and then we need to drag and drop this thing in here because I renamed this. And then this should be. And then you go there. And I did not. We're going to rename this thing too, actually. What is the multi-monitor freezing issue? I don't think I've encountered that one yet. Let's save this. That's not what I want to look at. I want to look at this, and then you build this. Oh, right, I renamed this stuff. We got to fix that too. Max amount of construction, we'll say, we'll keep these numbers low, like 10. Max builders, 5. Max workers. Thought I renamed that. Huh. That's kind of a big deal. Sometimes I have 2 Godot's open in it. I notice it that it really doesn't like that very much recently. That's a recent thing. And it didn't really care that much. Current workers, max workers. Okay, that is what we want. Builders, amount of construction. All right. I thought for a second I had fucked something up. Current amount, max amount of construction. We're gonna do we'll do like 15 for this one. 5. What are we on? What is this thing? A forester shack? We'll just do 2. Yeah, we'll do 2 of both. We'll do 3 in here. No, not the same project. Different projects. I haven't tried that. I haven't tried the same project in 2. That sounds like a disaster, though. Then we'll do like 5 to make this really quick, and this one will be 5, and then max workers 10. Perfect. Then we just got to go back to this thing. Amount of construction should be turned off. Can equal. Yeah, that's a huge bummer. I noticed when I dragged it over, I have another one where I drag over and it gets weird. Oh, I also moved this over to the other side on my other game. I should probably do that on the not right now, but I'm gonna have everything over here on the left because I don't like dragging stuff across here. And I was watching a tutorial actually, and someone in the comments is like, "Why don't?" Was talking to the tutorial creator like, "Why don't you have all your stuff on the one side?" And I was like, "Hey, that's a good idea." And that's actually what I did in Unity too. So we're just gonna use this max builders label to say. Uh, this. So we'll hide the one thing because we don't need it, which should be this top one, and then the number of builders will switch over there, hopefully. So in my other game, I generate like 5,000 nodes, and when you click on remote, the editor grinds to a halt, and that's the thing I was hoping they had finished or fixed. Maybe they did, but I doubt it. So everybody's assigned there. They haven't started work yet. They should finish work at 5 o'clock here. So there's 5 of them are done. And there's 5 builders, which is different than they're not constructors. 5 o'clock is done. And that turned off, and we currently have 5 workers, which are different than that. And then this all went back. All right, so that actually worked 100% of what we wanted. That was surprisingly easy. I'm sure it will break. How much time? About 15 minutes. I wonder if I can. I wonder if I can do this here in 15 minutes. So basically, how are we going to do that? You know what? I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm going to put this. I got to keep moving forward. Events. No, we're going to do tooltips. So if I did everything right, when we do the AI stuff tomorrow or the next time I stream, the faction AI where they pick what building all of this should work for the buildings, and they're gonna pick it at midnight as well, and then hopefully that will be that way. I don't like the question mark thing that much because I find it confusing. Maybe later. Um, Unless I'm thinking of something else. Instead of doing the null check separate from is built, you can put a question mark before the period. That was under work, or where was I? Where was I doing that? That was over here, and that was over here. You're talking about no, that wasn't over here. That was under work. I know which it was right here. You can just put it like right here. current improve. Oh, wait. What? Let's see. Right here. Like that. All right, I'm gonna put a note here. I think so. I've seen this before, and copied. I've copied some code and I've put it in there like that. But I don't know if I like this. Because I find it unreadable later. It just like pretty soon it's just like question marks, lambulas like that, and it's just a bunch of fucking gibberish to me. And I kind of want to make my code as new user friendly as possible. You know what? I was doing a tutorial that the whole thing was gibberish to me, and I was like, what the fuck is all this stuff? It was kind of like earlier. Um, and it was a tutorial for brand new Unity users, and the person said, like, they had this, like, let's say it was like a method like this. They said, I'm not going to explain. They said, I'm not going to explain what this is. And they just copy and paste this, and then they skipped on to the next thing. And I thought that was horseshit in their tutorial. Because I feel like because all it was stuff like this, and he could have just written it out easier for the new person, right? Um, and I feel like you want to keep the code as new person as possible if you're doing tutorials. I'm not doing tutorial, obviously. Um, so there is one. There is a helograph. I can't even say the word. I just saw it the other day. It was like I guess there's these codes. No, it's going to think. So I guess there's people who have written programming languages that are like just for fun, but also like they're not really for usage. And one of them it's all just symbols. It was a Reddit post about languages like that. Esoteric languages, armchair game dev. How's it going? They're esoteric languages. Oh, I read about this one even longer ago. Oh no, this is this is Lord Mac. You only have 8 distinct characters. This makes Hello World. That's the code for Hello World right there. Oh, that would be. I was laughing at the Wingdings comment. Remember when that first came? Well, maybe not, but when it first came out, everyone was always fucking around with those things. I'm trying to remember the name of the one. Oh, white space is interesting too. It only uses white space characters, space, tab, and return, ignoring all other characters, which can therefore be used for comments. How nice. I can't remember the name of the one I was reading about on Reddit. But someone had posted like sample of it, and it was pure. Like this is pretty gibberishy. This is, but at least it's like the other few characters. This is like just gibberish. Um, oh really? Uh, I hadn't heard that before. On what type of special typewriters? All right, I gotta push this shit to someplace. Everything's saved. AI population. I believe this is working enough to go to AI. Factions, buildings build, and people work. Oh, that makes sense. Especially because back in the day, there's always like artwork. Not always, but often artwork. All right, that is there. I'll show you that other bug I was talking about before. I'm gonna call it a day in like 2 seconds here. Um, it probably won't do it because I'm streaming. All right, so it generated a bunch of hexes in the background. And if you go to remote, generally, I might have made it as little as possible uh, to try to avoid this issue. It actually doesn't look that bad. Um, I can make it bad, though. And it's the other people, they have a lot more hexes or whatever nodes than me, and it's really. Oh, well, we're there. See, I can't do anything here. There, and then it'll let you do something for a minute, and then you're just like, but like the game runs and stuff. It's not it's not like things are not working. Oh, I saw like a teleport there or something. Um, so it's just the remote that isn't working. Like now it's still. I'm scrolling. I guess you can't see my, but I'm trying to scroll up and down and stuff. It's just lagged out. And someone had a suggestion of what the problem was. I don't even know. Is it doing anything to my? Yeah, and it's not like grinding my, because I looked at the. It's just busted. But if you go back to local, that works fine. It's just the remote thing, and that's what I wish they would fix, because it's kind of hard to debug when you're game when you can't look at the remote, because I'm gonna start making bigger maps basically. But I'm trying to narrow down so I only generate the least amount of hexes that I need. It was kind of weird. It did 5,000 twice. In fact, I bet you there's well, I was gonna say I bet you there's a bug. I actually, oh man, now I have to look at this. Um, I bet you. I'm calling it a day in like 2 seconds. I bet you. Yeah. Floor. This should be wall. There we go. Fix that. wasn't even wasn't even planning to notice the bug, but yeah, that's the bug that I wish that Godot would fix because I don't know, it's annoying. But anyways, I'm calling it a day. Thank you, chat, for all the help. Thank you, Rogathian. Obviously, I'm saying your name wrong. I'm gonna definitely look into the Switch thing again. What was the other old man thing? Oh, the question mark. Yeah, I put that in there. Anyways, good talking with you. Thanks for the help. Thanks for the help. I will talk to you guys next time. I might stream tomorrow. I can't decide. That is it for me today.